and welcome to another edition of the Industry Insider Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Bill Petrie, and with me, as always, are three other people. We'll get to them in just a second, but first I want to thank our sponsor. That'd be the good strongs over at T for Two. T for Two has been servicing the promotional products industry and independent brokers for well over 23 years, not 22, 23. They offer specialty inks that include glitter, foil, puff, gel, neon, glow-in-the-dark, metallic. I mean, can you get any more variety than that? The answer, friends, is no. No, you can't. That's right, Stephen. Thank you for chiming in. So they offer one of the largest and most productive print shops in Southern California and capable of printing over 20,000 imprints a day. Really great stuff over there. So if you're interested, contact them at marketing at T for Two. That's TEEFOR and the number 2.net. You won't be sorry you did. So as I said, I've got some good pals here with me. I've got Meg Erber, the outside sales manager for S&S Activewear.
Hey, guys.
I've got Jeff Franklin, who is the national account manager with Headwear USA.
What is up, everybody?
And I've got Stephen McFadden, the president of Perfect Promotions and more.
What's up?
Hey, all right. So here's what we're doing. Let's talk about the insides of the industry. We didn't prepare, guys, so this is going to be super reels off.
What do you guys think we're talking about?
Yeah, so we're just going to try to have a little bit of fun here and go. So, Stephen, why don't you start us off?
Yeah, I got some questions for everybody because try to keep it fun, but I want to know what's the first thing you guys are going to do when shelter in place and quarantine is gone in your respective areas?
We actually just did CPPA just did a virtual happy hour on Friday, and that was my question to everybody is like, what's the first thing you're looking forward to doing, or what do you miss the most? I love that question, actually. For me, I don't know, man, just getting out of the damn house. My wife is very, very precautious right now, which is it's great because none of us are sick as far as we know. But I'm just looking forward to going to a movie theater. I'm looking forward to eating a steak at a restaurant. I'm looking forward to traveling for work again and not having to do what I've been doing for the last month.
Your wife is probably looking forward to that as well.
God knows she is. Trust me.
My wife and I have talked about there's a happy medium. There's too much travel where you're never here, and that pisses me off. And you're not traveling enough. You're here a lot, and that pisses me off. So there's a happy medium in there.
Yeah.
I think we're shooting for.
Yeah, no, I mean, well, just a couple episodes ago, we talked about what was your question, Bill, about would you rather have the look or the comment?
Oh, yeah.
What was it?
I don't remember.
The mutter under the breath.
Would you rather have
the dirty look or the mutter under the breath? That's what
it
was. Yeah, and it was perfect timing because yes, absolutely. I think everybody's getting fed up with each other right now.
I did get the look
wife,
yesterday, and I don't think it went over very well, but I definitely think it was better than if it had been muttered. So revisit that answer.
Yeah. So Meg,
what about you, Meg?
What are you looking forward to?
Yeah.
So my priorities change hour by hour. So I know you guys can tell my luscious hair is back to the color that it should be. I have to give a shout out to my hairdresser. She actually came over my house last night and dyed my roots. So that was actually my first thing I was going to do. I was going to be waiting outside their door like it was the night before Black Friday and like up in there because my roots don't just like come out normal color. They're like white now. So I mean, I was wearing a headband that was like half my head. It was bad. So that was my number one priority. But now since Devin is the master and hooked it up, I honestly just want to go see my family. My niece who's hospital. I miss them so much. My mom, I just miss that touch, that real human interaction, with your family. Taking the kids, we used to always do that. We always have fun nights with them, or we go bowling, our weekend nights. I miss that too. And, the weekends we sleep in now, which is really nice. And I've been able to. So, and one more thing, I crave and I miss my tribe over at the yoga studio. We've been doing these virtual workouts, and I have like my office. I have heaters cranked up to 90, and I'm doing them in my office. But it's not the same when you're in a small room packed with 35 men and ladies, and we're all just sweating at like 106 degrees. Like,
I think you
miss-
just described one of my favorite movies of all. Oh, I don't want to talk about that.
yeah. I know that I said that out loud. I can definitely see how that could have been your favorite movie, but
Yeah.
so I definitely miss my tribe. So those are the two things, or a couple things that I really can't wait to do. How about you, Steven?
It's funny you mentioned the hair thing, because I was like,
It was bad.
I think, Bill, I think I saw you guys post something on online about that on Facebook.
Yeah, I've got problems. When it gets my turn, I'll chat about that. But yeah, I've got issues, real issues.
I mean, I think a nice combination of like maybe having the whole family and go out to eat would be like just like 2 in 1. It would just be awesome to be able to go sit in a restaurant with all of our family. I think that would be awesome. It's funny, like the little things. It's like, how is that like a big deal? But like when you can't do it for so long, you realize that you miss it. It's like even just going out to eat. Yeah, picking up something's fine, but there's something about sitting down and like them taking the plates away and being able to talk with people and being in an environment like that.
And not have to cook yourself and clean up after yourself. And you're like, ugh.
Yeah, Tom Clouser just jumped in. He said his wife buzzed his hair, so he needs it to grow fast now.
Well, actually, Bill, go ahead. I don't want to take it away.
No,
what are you looking forward to?
Well, right now I'm the only one that really leaves the house. My kids leave the house. They can go fishing. They're allowed to do that, and that's all. They just go by themselves and they go fish, and it's nice for them to get out right now. I am the designated procurer of groceries and such. Sandy can't leave the house because of her heart condition. She's at high risk. So she's kind of housebound. She'll take the dog on a walk and things like that. But other than that, she shouldn't leave. So I do the majority of leaving. I'm looking forward to getting my hair cut because I don't have a lot of hair, as you can see. That's why this is all distracting, because it doesn't look like a nice full head there. But the sides, my hair on the sides grow like super quick. So if I do this, like this is what my hair normally looks like in the morning. No one wants to see that.
Seagulls, baby.
So I need a haircut bad, and that's why I was thinking I might get a Flowbee.
I saw that. I mean, we all need a Devin.
I mean,
what is a Flowbee?
Okay, Jeff. First of all, it's a vacuum cleaner attachment by the good folks at Ron Popeil. And what that does, it's going to.
Sponsored.
They are not a sponsor, but that fine product will not only vacuum your floors, it'll cut your hair.
So believe it or not, back when I was in the Navy, way back when, you would walk into the NEX and the guys would be getting their haircut and the ladies would be using the Flowbees.
Oh, wow.
I was like, it's real. Those are real.
Yeah.
But so efficient.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I think what I'm looking forward to the most is just not feeling like I'm a leper out in public. And I think everybody feels that way if you go out in public. I'm wearing a mask. Don't touch anything. Don't touch anybody. I'm super cognizant of whatever I do touch. I make sure I, wash my hands 85 times or Clorox wipe the shit out of my skin.
Yeah, right.
So I'm kind of looking forward to being, what I've categorized it, and I think what I've categorized almost what everybody said, being carefree again. I don't feel carefree at all.
Yeah. I'm to sort of double on Meg and Steven as well. I think just getting my kids in front of the grandparents again would be really good, because it's probably been we were on vacation / work trip immediately the 2 weeks prior to lockdown.
Yeah, you're in Hawaii.
I was, yeah, and doing a bit of hula. So my parents haven't seen my kids in probably 2 months now, which is super hard. Yeah, like the youngest is walking, which they haven't seen, and now like she's not even like stutter stepping anymore. She's like freaking running. So they've missed that whole section. But then also getting back on the Harley, being able to ride around.
Yeah, Stephen, what about you? What else? Anything else we missed?
No, I think that's I think we've all covered. I think that there's a comment that came in too that says that they can't wait for outdoor concerts and beers in the sun.
Yeah, John
JRBC. That can only be my boy John R.B. Cudahy.
That is John Cudahy.
Yeah. Not John. How's Cuda 3 doing? That's what I want to know.
What?
That's what he calls him, his wife, and his daughter.
Nice.
Huge.
Well, it's interesting, like entertainment. We're all just doing, the streaming stuff right now, or television or movies. It's like, it'd be nice to do some entertainment in public, movies or a bowling, like you guys mentioned, or a concert. Yeah, those are cool.
Yeah.
So I actually, it was funny, one of my other questions was, would you cut your own hair or let someone cut your hair?
Oh, yeah.
I do cut my own hair.
Do you really cut your own hair?
I do, yeah.
Well, your hair, you have such a luscious head of hair.
It doesn't look like it right now because, I've let it grow now for probably the last 2 months as well. But yeah, I do normally cut my own hair.
I'm tempted to take, I have, like a beard trimmer, but it'll work on hair too. I mean, it's just a trimmer, and I'd probably put it on like a guard of a 5 or something like that, and just kind of do it all the way.
Nervous, yeah.
But I just kind of circumnavigate the globe here. I wouldn't do anything on top because I'm scared I want to grow back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do it, man. I got a T-shirt order today. That was exciting.
Oh.
Like, let me get out of the way, everybody. No, it was actually from yesterday. Yeah, I was just really excited.
Yeah, different than the masks, right?
We're in Maskageddon right now, so aside from the mask, it was nice to just have a conversation about T-shirts. And I do want to give a couple more shout outs because these are the people that are really making a difference and kind of making our days a little bit better. So Ronnie from Burnside gave me a call yesterday. And Ronnie, if you're listening, just wanted to say I'm wearing some Burnside today. You gave me a call. You checked just to check on me. And I'll tell you what, it really went a long way. I had a really rough day yesterday. And just hearing your voice and hearing that you were doing okay and that you and your wife were fighting like we were fighting, and it made us all feel like we're all in the same boat together. So just wanted to give you a shout out to that. And just everyone else that's listening, I mean, I'm here trying to be positive and motivate you guys. And I know my morale was really low last week, and I got a lot of people reaching out to me about that. And I apologize. I know you guys kind of see me and on social media and trying to keep everyone, in this group together. But some days it's hard, and we're going to have those days. But just by Ronnie reaching out, it really kind of turned my day around. So if you guys have that opportunity to reach out to your customers, just to check on them, it goes a long way. And a decorator that I work with, Advantage Embroidery, I stopped and dropped off some masks to them the other day because they're still working, and I'm trying to route orders to them because they are still open. And I have a couple people that I'm doing that too, but I stopped over there and they handed me a pack of masks and they said, Meg, tell us what we can do. And I was like, I don't know. And then the next day he emailed me and he's making masks out of all the T-shirts and that he has there and donating them to the front line. So I actually had 2 boxes of T-shirts and tanks in my garage yesterday that I had for certain giveaways that I never used. And I just dropped them off, and they were a lot of bigger sizes. So he was going to repurpose them. So
that's great.
People like that are doing that out of the kindness of their hearts. And now he's getting blown up with orders. But, I think it takes some to give some and to have some.
What we're trying to do is, and I think people have noticed, is do a lot more live content, just to try to give people a little bit of hopefully education, hopefully entertainment. And we're working our tails off doing that, but it's fun. And it's fun to do this type of stuff, but it's a lot of work. I always joke, it takes a lot of work to appear this uninterested and uninvolved and unprepared for broadcasting. So hopefully that's bringing some joy into people's world right now. I hope so. Anyway.
Yeah. So since Meg, you mentioned Maskageddon, Headwear is also throwing their hat in the ring to the face mask game.
All right.
Hat in the ring.
Yeah. So we're actually manufacturing at our factory non-medical grade masks, obviously, but we've got the certifications or whatever that we need in order to get them out of the country, because I know that's something that a lot of people are running into now. So that's all taken care of. I think there's 2 different designs or templates, I guess, for the different masks. So there's a little bit of a choice there, but essentially it's source containment or source control as opposed to the PPE designated stuff in the healthcare workplace. But ultimately, Tucker Carlson, I don't know if any of you are Fox fans or not, but he had actually just mentioned, I saw on YouTube one of his videos about, how the death rate could actually be a hell of a lot less than what everybody actually thinks it is, because there's so many people that are actually affected or infected, I should say, that are just asymptomatic. I mean, numbers are showing anywhere from 18 to 50+% of people actually are infected and just don't have any symptoms or very, very mild symptoms. So the real drawback there is the number of tests. Like if everybody were tested, you'd find out exactly what the real numbers are, but there'd be a hell of a lot more people that are actually affected, but the death rate would essentially also be a lot less diddly than the 3.4% or whatever that WHO is saying it is. So, either way, like I think source containment, with a face mask is really great. And a great way to sort of help stop spreading. And it's not for your protection, it's for everybody else's protection in the non-medical grade masks. So, Meg, I can't remember, are you in the Philly area or Jersey?
I'm South Jersey, but right outside of Philly.
So I was actually just told by a client yesterday in Jersey that they're actually mandating in Jersey that you have to wear a face mask now if you go into an essential business like a grocery store. Like you can't be admitted in.
Yep.
So in a sense, that's actually a good thing, because I mean, for at least for people that are selling masks, because now, like if that catches on and blows up everywhere, which I could see that potentially happening, then everybody's going to need a mask. So I think there's definitely a market for it. That's for sure.
Good. And I'm glad that you guys jumped in on that. And I know Stephen was making them. He had like a sweatshop in his garage with his kids.
That's not how we're manufactured.
Probably not.
Yeah.
Although I have been bending metal wire for the last week and a half, because we got to cut the little pieces for the nose strap. Yeah. So I've gone through about 180 yards of wire, just cutting 3.5-inch pieces and then curling the ends with like jewelry. So I think I have carpal tunnel.
Oh man.
Nice.
The good deed goes unpunished.
Yeah. So anyhow, if you are interested in masks or getting, a flyer or something like that, just reach out to us at HMD, as in Harry, Mary, David, at headwear-usa.com. And headwear is HEADWEAR. You'd be surprised how many people misspell that, but just want to make sure you guys are getting your email to the right place in case you have any interest, and let them know you heard about it from the podcast.
That would be great.
Yeah. Thanks for the shameless plug, Bill. I appreciate you letting me do that.
Yeah.
Shameless. Or
I'm shameless.
Yeah.
With shame.
Either
way, plug away.
Yeah. So. All right, what next? Steven, did you have some more questions you wanted to ask the group?
So actually, I have a question kind of in line with where we were going with all the inventory that's being manufactured. There's a lot of orders in with factories that are back ordered, whether it be for sanitizers or the thermal thermometers or masks or whatnot. And I don't want to think this is bad, but I just think it's a good question to discuss. What happens if this does end a lot sooner, and we do get back to normal sooner than later, and we've got back ordered, orders that have either been deposited on or prepaid, through June and July. I mean, I've heard some people that have orders that are pending, and all of a sudden people don't need them, or we've got a lot of manufacturing that's converted over to mass manufacturing, but now people need T-shirts, or now people need the stuff that you were originally producing. I think it's something. I hope we get to that point, honestly, because that means we're back to normal sooner than later. Yeah. But I think it's something to think about and wonder, what do we do? Like, what do you guys think about that?
Yeah, I don't know if it was last week or the week before, but somebody had mentioned actually that they've got a university or something placing orders now in hopes that they get it by September.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean that's definitely going to happen, because I'm certainly hoping that this thing is over and done with, at least the first round of it, within the next, let's say 4 to 6 weeks. That's what I would hope. I know that President Trump has talked about sort of rolling the economy back into motion as a phased sort of rollout. There's obviously certain states that are less affected than others, so I'm sure that those would get opened back up sooner than the others. And I think they'd even mentioned as early as maybe May 1st. I don't know if that's likely or not, because it's really only 2 weeks away. So, who knows? But hey, it's great to think that within 2 to 3 weeks, this thing could potentially, be lifted or, starting to be in the rearview mirror a little bit. But, again, I think there will be a phase 2. I saw an interesting infographic on Facebook the other day that for all 10 of the influenza breakouts that we've had or pandemics for the flu that we've had, there's always been a round 2, roughly 6 months after the first phase. So I would certainly expect a phase 2 to come through. And so I don't think there's going to be any lack of need for this stuff in the short term for sure. So I don't know if that answers your question, but I think any orders that have been placed should be okay, just because phase 2 will eventually catch back up to us.
And not to mention, we have parts of the country that are weeks behind us. I feel like I'm in New Jersey. New Jersey is the second highest state with cases and deaths and everything. So my daughter's in Florida, and they literally just went on lockdown. You know what I mean? So they're like 1 to 2 weeks behind us. So we're still in the middle of it, like hardcore, as far as mask sales and everything like that. Millions coming in, millions going out. But with that being said, we don't even anticipate that slowing up anytime soon. So when it does, we still have the more southern states and the states that weren't affected as much or as quickly, they're still behind us. So that's gonna, you know what I mean? Like it's, so I think there's gonna be some like, I don't know what the word is, but even though I might slow up in New Jersey, those sales will be coming in and be compensated down in the Florida and the southern.
Shift to different locations, geographies.
Yeah. And I think that'll be, probably the challenge then, or I don't know if challenge is the right word, but I guess really the task of the sales folks then is, okay, who is open and who is starting to operate again, and let's shift our focus to doing those geographical territories as opposed to, what we might be normally doing. So if you're a national accounts rep, that might actually be a good thing for you. If you're a territorial regional rep that's not in one of those geographic areas, hold tight. Hopefully something else will happen. We'll be back to normal sooner than later, hopefully.
Normal.
Yeah, normal.
It'll be normal. Normal doesn't exist anymore. It's going to be created as we go, I think.
Yeah.
Well,
awkward pause.
Do we have time for one more question? I don't want to.
Stephen, we've got time for just one more question.
You guys ready for it?
I'm ready.
I have fully braced for impact.
So one of the
let's go.
This is a little bit of a heavier one, but I think it's something that a lot of people are going through. I think I might have mentioned or may have withheld information last meeting that we actually ended up having to furlough some employees. And so, one of the things that I'm trying to think about is, obviously a furlough is someone that'll be coming back. But how do you, any thoughts or on keeping that company culture with people that are not here, and B, even people that are still working, but not in the office, just any tips on or insight into how you guys are staying connected with your employees, or just
I think the key to protecting, and I'm going to use the word protect, assuming that a company culture has been built. I think the key to that is, when things go bad and layoffs have to happen, or furloughs, or a combination of the two, it's transparency. It's why this has to happen. Here's what it's going to hopefully preserve, and then you move on. I think when there's a lack of communication, a lack of information, a lack of transparency, that's what causes people's minds to kind of go into the mental patient status and start wondering, well, what's next? Why do they want to meet with me? What does he mean we'll talk tomorrow morning? I think that's when things start going awry. So to me, it's just like almost everything else in life. So much comes back to communication. So much of it just comes back to simple transparency and communication. And if you have created the culture of that, hopefully you have, then it's painful and it sucks, but at least people know exactly what's going on. People can generally deal with the truth if you hand it to them squarely and transparently and honestly. That's my 2 cents.
Yeah.
I think compassion cannot be understated or given out in doses that are too high right now. I think everybody's dealing with shit whether it's personal, professional, or otherwise. And this is not an easy transition for anybody. And I think to understand the position that people are in right now could go a really long way. So although you were trying to keep people employed and you're trying to keep business afloat, it's really important, I think, to still have a bit of compassion for the people that are in the business and allow a little bit of time for that. Maybe when you are doing your Zoom meetings for your company, if you are getting everybody together virtually, at least, just to allow some time for some banter and chit chat and not be all super, whatever. I think that would be super important and helpful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. My friend Missy, she lives up in Connecticut and she works not even in this industry, and she was like, we haven't even heard from the owner of the company. And I'm like, you guys don't even know if he's alive?
Yeah.
I think it goes a long way when someone from high up can just reach out and say, hey guys, we're in this together or whatever. But like, if you're furloughing them or laying them off, just let them know that the deepest, like, you really care, and it kills you to do that. Nobody wants to do that unless you're just have no soul. So,
it's one of those things. I want to go back to. That's a great point, Megan. I want to go back to what Jeff said. There's all types of leaders in the world. There's all types of leadership styles, but I think this environment just screams for that emotional leader, the one that can be compassionate, the one can be empathetic, the one that can commiserate, and that's I think so critically important. I think that was great what you said there, Jeff.
Thanks. I think it's important. I really do.
I don't know if this is probably along the same lines of compassion, but one of the things that we've noticed, me and our family, who are kind of, we call ourselves the core four, that are kind of the family business. So we've all been trying to help with different tasks that we normally wouldn't do, to help out, whether it be the operators or people that have different responsibilities. But someone at the embroidery facility said something the other day. They were like, where can you go where you like all the people up top are helping us with preparing fabric and metal and stuff like that. And I was like, oh, I didn't think about it as what I was doing I was just trying to be helpful. But I think that's something that you can extrapolate, and it shows that, like you said, Jeff, the compassion and the care for what they're doing is important. Especially when you don't get a lot of those interactions right now. So,
yeah.
Well, I think in a situation like that too, it almost makes those people feel like that you don't have the mentality that you're necessarily above them or that you're better than the job that they're doing. And it does show the importance of what they're doing for sure. So kudos to you. I mean, I would think the same thing about, a business owner that's not afraid to go out and scrub the toilet either. I mean, it's sort of the same thing. Right. It's a terrible analogy, I guess, to use in that situation, but you understand what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, exactly. You have to be able to do the job to be able to manage doing them. You have to be able to take that initiative and do the dirty work. How are you going to tell somebody how to do something if you've never done it before?
Yeah. That's a good point.
Well, as always, guys, really good stuff. A little lighter today. I think we all needed that. And we kind of talked a little bit before we came on. And so we are recording this just so you guys are aware. We are going to put it out as our normal podcast on Monday at 2:00 Eastern. So be on the lookout for that. But I want to thank again our sponsor. That would be T for Two. We talked about how they are capable of printing 20,000 imprints a day, and they have glitter foil, puff gel, neon, glow-in-the-dark, metallic. Wow.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. So if you're interested, head over or shoot them an email, marketing@teefor2.net. That's TEEFOR and the number 2.net. You're not going to be sorry you did. I can now take my notes, do that. I can now go over here and grab my hat and put it on and kind of hide this crap.
Hey. Quarantine hair don't care, baby.
Word up. All right, guys. Thanks again. Had a great time as always.
Yep. Take care, guys.
Take care.